How good will the offense be this year? Last year, it ranked fourth in yards gained. Only Detroit, Baltimore, and Tampa gained more yards than the Niners last year. Now, in terms of points scored, they were 13th, which isn't great, but it's also not bad. How good do you think this offense will be this year?
I think it could be better for a couple of reasons. One, obviously, the thing we talked about in the beginning of the show is CMC. That's going to be a big determining factor. What does CMC look like? So that's hard to predict. I don't know. But the loss of Debo could be a good thing for the 49ers. It's addition by subtraction. All those targets that they were giving Debo last year when he wasn't in good shape, when he wasn't producing, can go to other players that can actually produce with those touches. So I think that could be a really a big positive for the 49ers. And then it really depends on what they do weapons-wise. Are they going to draft a wide receiver? Are they going to find a running back that can be complementary? And then, their schedule is weaker. So, yes, I hope so. And I hope Brock doesn't play like he did last year. I hope he takes a step forward. I think it's entirely possible the 49ers offense is better this coming season than they were last season.
I think it's like you have to look at it two ways, like yards and points. In terms of yards, I feel like Kyle's always going to have a high-ranking offense. His system is proven. He can get the big chunk plays off play action and with the outside zone play. He's got enough talent. But the issue last year was actually scoring touchdowns once they got to the red zone. And I think a big problem is since McCaffrey's been here, he's been the guy. He has 31 touchdowns in 31 games with the Niners. You take him away, that's like one touchdown less per game that they're scoring. And I don't know how they're going to figure that out. Like, it's either going to be some schematic wrinkle that Kyle Shanahan throws in there in the red zone, or there's some new go-to guy they can go to. And like, used to also be Debo. I mean, there were seasons where he would score 13, 14 touchdowns. He's gone. So who's going to score 15 touchdowns this year? Could be McCaffrey if he stays healthy. But if he goes down again, I feel like they're going to have the same problems as last year, scoring.
I'm hoping they figured out that George Kittle is one of the best red zone weapons in the NFL. I hope they figured that out a little bit last year. Another reason I have hope is that, they always talk about complementary football. I expect special teams to be improved this year, and I expect the defense. Well, I'm hopeful the defense will be improved depending on what they do at defensive tackle in this draft. I'm hoping that they are improved this year. So if they can have a better defense, it's going to be hard not to have a better defense than they did last year. And it's going to be hard not to have a better special teams unit than they did last year. That provides more opportunities for the offense. So I'm hopeful that that's the case and they have complementary football, which is going to help the offense. And one thing I'm really hopeful for is that because Debo's gone now, Kyle's going to have to figure out how to use other people on his team and not just rely on Debo, which could end up being a benefit. And then the other thing is I'm hopeful he's not relying on CMC to be the catalyst of the offense coming off of this injury. I'm hoping he's wise enough to prepare. Let's make a plan that Christian's not even going to play this year. Let's plan our offense for this season without Christian being the feature and without Debo being the feature. And if he does that, then there's a good chance that they are improved.
PrizePicks is sponsoring the Cohn Zone this year. PrizePicks is the leader in daily fantasy and the best place to win cash while watching sports. And the best part about the app is it's really easy to use. To create a lineup, all you have to do is pick more or less on a few players' stats. I'm a Niners guy. So, when I'm doing PrizePicks, I'm looking, the last couple of years, I'm looking at Debo Samuel because I know Debo Samuel better than Debo Samuel knows Debo Samuel. So if it's like drops, I'm taking more. Or if it's like punches thrown towards his long snapper on the sideline during the fourth quarter of a game, the 49ers will go on to win. I'm smashing more because I know the 49ers and I'm a PrizePicks guy. Now, maybe they didn't have those exact plays, but they have so many plays that'll make your head spin. And you can play PrizePicks in over 40 states, including California and Texas. Best part about it is the new user offer. PrizePicks will give you $50 when you play your first $5 lineup. So win or lose, you'll get $50 just for playing. That sounds like a win to me. Use promo code COHN, COHN, to claim your $50 today. Tell him Grant sent you. Kyle has to figure out who his go-to guys are close to the goal line. And
It's
It
Kittle and
was
Jawan.
McCaffrey and Debo. But last year, it was Kittle. Like, to your point, I got the stats right here. 19 targets in the red zone, 16 catches, 8 touchdowns. So they need to go to Kittle more. You know who wasn't particularly successful in the red zone last year?
Was it Jawan?
Yeah. 15 targets, 8 catches, 5 touchdowns. Not bad. But like, he caught 53% of his targets. Kittle caught 84%. Then you got Ricky Pearsall in the red zone. 7 targets, 6 catches, 2 touchdowns. Maybe there's a little bit more with Ricky. Maybe Ricky could be that guy.
Sounds like Jawan is better than Ricky, though, based on what you read off. I'd go Jawan and Kittle. That'd be
Jawan
my
and Kittle?
targets. You know, they are possession.
He did get 5 touchdowns. It's just there were a bunch of incomplete passes in there too.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't get a ton of separation, Jawan. So, you know, it might have been.
Hold on. Let's look at inside the 10-yard line. Real close.
Yeah.
Inside the 10 last year, Kittle, 11 targets, 8 catches, 6 touchdowns. Jennings, 8 targets, 3 catches, 3 touchdowns. Debo, 5 targets, 3 catches, 1 touchdown. Pearsall, 3 targets, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns. Pearsall's quick, man. He's not that small. You might be able to. But again, I think that the Niners are at their best when they just hand off to McCaffrey and he scores. Like, that's when they're at their best, when they hand off to McCaffrey, hand off to Debo, and the quarterback doesn't actually have to zip the ball into tight windows because he doesn't really have the arm talent for it.
And I think Ricky benefited by being like the third option, you know, and defense wasn't really worried about him. I mean, I think Kittle's
it's like Moses Moody in the corner. It's like, oh, he's wide open.
Right. I think Kittle is a no-brainer, like one of the best red zone targets in the NFL. So that's what they need to be focused on. And, you know,
can you imagine what Kittle's career numbers would be if he played for like Andy Reid or something?
Ridiculous. Yeah, like probably 33% minimum increase with everything.
That's why if people say, like, you know what, I will die on this hill, George Kittle is the greatest tight end I've ever seen. You could almost make that argument because his numbers don't really do him justice.
Yeah. Yeah, I tweeted out like 2 years ago that he's better than I like him better than Kelsey. Kelsey's good, but to me, George Kittle is a better tight end. He's just not used the same.
Yeah. The unfaithful perspective says, I appreciate the conspiracies and drama topics. Draft talk is hella boring, and watching channels trying to be serious talent evaluators is just too much. Appreciate it, unfaithful perspective.
If there's one
Sometimes
thing,
I pretend to be a talent evaluator. I'm not good at it.
There's one thing we are, it's unserious. So
it's true.